Well, happy belated New Year to all of you newcomers and my regular viewers who have stuck with me. Maybe you can tell I left my Borat era in 2024 and I have entered my discount Walmart Steve Jobs era in 2025. But in all seriousness, I wanted to kick the year off with a desk setup video centered around the M4 baseline MacBook Pro 14-inch. Such an amazing value device, super powerful, great price. You get so much bang for your buck and it deserves its own setup and more. So in this video, I want to go over a desk setup I've built around it with the help of my partner in this video, Vernal, who were kind enough to make today's video possible and send over the desk and more. So I'm excited to go over what they sent me and just what I've put together here. All right, so welcome to this desk setup here. I'm recording this perspective in first person with an iPhone 16 Pro strapped to my neck to give you a better idea as to how things are situated, you know, giving you a first person look so you can put yourselves into my shoes and live vicariously or more so just understand how I've placed things and what this experience is like. Also too, not every item in here is sort of central to the setup. It's more like a suggestion, like an iPad Pro here, this decoration, all that. And I'll also be accompanying this perspective with B-roll shots for more context and, you know, cinema quality, whatever. So this will be a fun mixed media experience here. Anyway, first up, let's talk about arguably the most important building block of a desk setup, a desk. This is from Vernal, who again were kind enough to sponsor this video and provide a few pieces for this desk setup here, which look fantastic. So I have their L-shaped desk here with a light walnut finish. I'll correct myself if I'm getting the terminology wrong here, but I really enjoyed this desk. I mean, first up, it's your typical sort of standing situation here, which I'm used to. But this L shape is really special because it allows me to centralize my setup, which I normally do on a rectangular desk. And then of course, like with a rectangle desk, you kind of have like your central setup and then some fall off. With this desk, this L shape here, you get two additional sort of quadrants to do whatever you will with. So I have an iPad setup here. I have like sort of a blank setup here if you want to have like a book going on or a piece of paper or something, you know, tangible, whatever. So yeah, I like centering my desk setup, like I said, but the fact that I have like extra space to sort of spread out and do other things is really enjoyable here. I also like how this desk curves as well here, this specific variant. So it's like 3 different panels you put together. And yeah, like it's really comfortable to just sort of dig into your desk setup here and then turn and, you know, browse on an iPad Pro, for example. Not that you need one of these iPads for the setup specifically, but if you have an iPad, iPad Pro, iPad Air, great place to put this. You can put a book here, tchotchkes, decorations, whatever. Same with over here. I have an Anker 3-in-1 MagSafe charger here, but more so this would be a nice place to put an iPhone in standby mode, you know, headphones, whatever. So yeah, I really enjoy the L-shaped desk for this reason. Again, motorized situation here, but again, this finish and this shape is just special and it just sort of defines this entire setup. Moving on though, beyond the desk itself, what desk setup would be complete without the sort of central or cornerstone device here? And as the title suggests, in this case, it is the baseline 14-inch M4 MacBook Pro, which I happen to think might be the best value MacBook or MacBook Pro of all time. I think it fills the shoes of a much more expensive MacBook Pro that we got in the past. So this is essentially an M3 Pro MacBook Pro with an updated chip, which is just as powerful, if not more powerful as well. Plus you get 16 gigs of RAM up from 8 compared to the base M3 model last year and the M2 and the M1. Makes a huge difference and it actually allows you to take advantage of the power of the chip here. And you also get an extra USB-C port, which was a M3 Pro or Pro chip exclusive for a minute. And that gives you so much more versatility in terms of connecting displays and drives and charging and all that. So you actually get a pro level experience here without paying $2,000 plus out the gate here. However, I did get 2 upgrades, which I want to talk about. Number one, I opted for a 1 terabyte version, which costs you $200 extra, so $17.99. I think this is really worth it if you want to have an extra 500 gigs or so to store a game or a creative project or two. Otherwise, if you're doing more basic file storage, 512 should suit you well, but I need more personally. I didn't upgrade the RAM, although you can upgrade it to 24 or 32, but I did get the nano texture display, which I've been loving on my 16-inch MacBook Pro, which I use more for my own creative work, but I wanted to have it on this too, because when I switch to a display that doesn't have it, I really noticed it. So once you switch to nano texture, you really can't go back. Minimizing the glossiness or the reflections more so is a huge deal. And you really don't compromise sharpness or contrast that much. Anyway, next up I want to talk about the display that I have hooked up to this open-face MacBook setup situation that I have here. This is the BenQ MA320U. I actually did a review of it recently, so go check out that video link below if you want a more detailed overview. But to sum it up here, it is a phenomenal, affordable, great value 32-inch 4K panel for $600, I believe, and I love it for two reasons. Number one, it is exceptionally bright, and number two, it is just made for Macs in mind. First up, the brightness, it's 550 nits bright in standard or SDR conditions, which is a bit higher than even the 5K iMac from a couple years ago, so that's a huge deal. That's why I loved that iMac, and that's why I love this monitor. I'm a brightness freak, and I just think that anything less than 500 just looks kind of dim, so this is a huge deal in my opinion. You also get really great Mac integration here. If you enable HDR mode, you can control the brightness with a software toggle, and if you install their drivers and their app and all that, you can have even more control and, you know, kind of customize the way the display looks with like different focus modes amongst other things. So it's made for your Mac. It looks like a Mac or Apple product in my opinion. It's just a really solid panel here. I also think that at this size, productivity is great, especially for quad window situations like this. Also creative work as well. It has great color accuracy and all that. It matches the color of your display. So while it may not be perfect or retina quality or all that, I think it's one of the best affordable 4K monitor situations out there. And 32 inches is a great size. 27 inches may give you a little more sharpness or PPI count, but 32 inches just, I don't know, is great for pretty much everything. Work, play, productivity, gaming, streaming, all of that. And I think it's really well sized for this setup as well. I also have backlighting behind here, which I'll show in B-roll. I have two LED bars from I think a Soco or some, you know, no-name company, but it really sort of adds to the ambiance here amidst the lights that I have here. Oh, I'll actually go over that real quick. I have these One Wish lights on either side, which are dimmable as well. I have these on or in my personal setup in my bedroom as well. I love them. They're very unique, kind of hipster, whatever, but I think they're cute and they go really well with this sort of open-faced, again, MacBook setup that I got going on here. And with display out of the way or already discussed, next up we're going to talk about the peripheral situation here, or the lack thereof, because as you can obviously tell, and as I've said, this is an open-faced MacBook setup, which I think allows you to squeeze all of the value out of your MacBook Pro here, because otherwise you're just closing it up and not using the gorgeous built-in display that's higher refresh rate, brighter, more colorful, maybe a little sharper too in a way. You also get, you know, it as a sort of smaller secondary monitor without taking up extra horizontal space that would sort of ruin the center or centralized aesthetic of this corner setup. You can have your Spotify window open, Notion, whatever you want. You can also drag windows in between, so I love that. Typical macOS multi-monitor situation. But more importantly, maybe you get access to the amazing built-in Magic Keyboard and Touch ID button, which is so important to having a great macOS experience with your password keychain and, you know, biometrics, payments, all that. Plus you get the trackpad, which adds a whole nother level of depth for input, zooming, gestures, all of that. But I do like to have a mouse, so I did opt for my go-to Logitech MX Master 3S here, which is amazing, ergonomic. You know, you get really tactile clickable buttons, scroll wheel, side scroll wheel. You can charge via USB-C, and you can connect up to 3 devices as well. You know, individual unique devices with the click of a button. So I love that here. As for speakers, this display has built-in speakers. I would say they're not that great, so I opted for external ones that are really cute and small. They're from a no-name brand off Amazon. I'll link them below, but they are hooked up via USB to the monitor, so I can hook up the laptop via one cable. You could opt to just connect it to the 3.5 millimeter jack here too, but that's less clean, so definitely get a dongle. But yeah, they sound pretty great. Let me play a little non-copyrighted sound for you here. Hold on. Of course, the bassy part doesn't come on. Anyway, DJ moment there. Pretty decent. They look great. They're super cheap, $25. They look great as well. They have nice little LED underlighting to go with the backlighting here. But yeah, this is the peripheral situation here. Pretty basic and also built in, but I think they kind of reflect the overall affordability value aspect of this setup so far. But anyway, moving past the meat and potatoes of the setup here, next up I want to talk about the chair in question. And in the past, I've had really generic drab options. This is not that by any means. This is one of Vernal's S-Series ergonomic chairs, which I love for two reasons. Number one, it's ergonomic, which we'll get to in a second here, sort of as we explain this here. And two, it's just so aesthetically pleasing. I love the way this complements this desk setup, first and foremost with the green accent in the upholstery or the cushion here. I think it goes really well with the colors happening in the setup, specifically on the displays. It just sort of brings a freshness, a vibrancy to this. It makes it more inviting, cute, whatever. I also love the neutral tones in the gray and the 4D armrests here, and also in the other ergonomic aspects with the headrest that's adjustable, also the lumbar support. So, it's a mixture of nice cool or neutral tones and also a nice vibrant tone. It looks great and it also feels great with, again, 4D armrest, your typical lumbar support, neck rest, all that, height adjustment, all that smooth adjustment for that matter as well. So you can sit really comfortably and also enjoy the ergonomics of this L-shaped desk again. And just, you can sit pretty. You can be comfortable and also look good in your home office. Not that that matters, but I mean, if you are experiencing your desk setup every day, you may as well have a chair that sort of complements all of the hard work that you put into it here. And again, I think that the desk setup and the chair here work really well together. And I would know because I've picked crappy chairs in the past. So this whole ensemble here looks and feels amazing. And last up here, I want to go over the additional little tchotchkes and accessories on my desk setup here. They're personal to me, but I'll still show you them. We got books here. We got this mug, this Michigan mug. It's vintage. My dad got me this for Christmas. He's a big antique head, so shout out to him. We have this really unique lamp I got off Amazon. I don't know the brand, but I'll leave it linked below. But it's really cool, sort of a little accent piece here, more interesting than some basic looking lamp. I also have an original iPhone docked here. That's probably charged. It just turned 18, so that's fun. But yeah, I just love to have a little Apple product here. I'm big on collecting them. But put whatever you want on your desk setup. Again, we have a MacBook, or I'm sorry, an iPad Pro 11-inch that's just docked here. I explained that situation earlier. We have this gorgeous glass cat thing that my friend got me from Home Goods. It was super unexpected. It was a very thoughtful gift. So I thought I would put it here to just sort of represent a little decoration, personality, whatever. Again, we have these One Wish lamps here. And then we have a AirPods Max stand. I wish I had the AirPods Max. You know what? Hold on. I'm going to do a little magic. Boom, magic. Also, my phone is back here where it should be. This is a wonderful accessory for your AirPods Max. If you own a Lightning model, I wouldn't charge them otherwise. They also look really gorgeous, just sort of propped up like this, and they just sort of plug in like so magnetically. There's a little port, a little adapter on the bottom. So yeah, it's just plug and play. You can sort of display your AirPods Maxes. They're gorgeous. You should. I also have, again, this 3-in-1 anchor charger where I can put my phone out of the way of productivity. I can see, the clock going on here in standby mode. And yeah, if it's out of sight, out of mind, that's good for me because otherwise I'll be doom scrolling. And then last up here, we have this lamp. I don't know what the brand is. I never remember these weird Amazon brands, but it's gorgeous. It's sort of like a mushroom lamp situation. It goes with the rest of the aesthetic of my apartment or what I'm going for here. Adds some unique flair. But anyway, beyond the additional devices and accessories to consider, I last up want to go over the two additional pieces that Vernal sent over, some storage space or cabinets here. First off, I'm going to start with their filing cabinet. As you can see, the filing cabinet and that other storage cabinet have the same gorgeous white walnut finish. And I love the design here. It's very seamless. Like you don't even see sort of an obvious handle. The drawer face here sort of melts into the side. You just kind of reach under here. There's a little like gap to hold on to and the drawer opens. So really elegant, really great. You can put whatever you want in here. I won't judge. There's also a locked drawer as well. So you can store more sensitive objects or papers or whatnot. So I really enjoy that. Again, this is a really elegant, gorgeous take on a more typical, mundane filing cabinet. So love that. Love how it matches the aesthetic of the desk too. And then over here, we have basically a bigger filing cabinet with some open space. They call this their side storage cabinet here. So I have, as you can see, turned this into storage for my cameras, which I have never really had. So I'm very excited about this. I have my cameras that I want to readily access on the top with the specific lenses that I use too. But the lenses that I don't use, I put into the left side of the open storage here. So that's fun. some other stuff over here too. There's also 2 drawers here with a similar kind of drawer design, you know, very seamless, very elegant. And then there's a big drawer that you can lock as well to put more sensitive objects in, or if you want to sort of have long-term storage where you don't touch stuff, whatever you want to do. I'm just rambling at this point, but yeah, really, really elegant. Love the finish. I'm so happy that I finally have a place to store my cameras. And again, it just blends in with the desk setup. Same with the filing cabinet. So yeah, beyond just your desk setup, having proper storage space really does add to the overall utility of the room and the aesthetic as well. And that about wraps things up here. I hope this video was fun and helpful. I love this L-shaped desk concept once again. So shout out to Vernal for making today's video possible. Check out their stuff along with everything else down below, linked below in the description. And as always, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.